But otherwise, all well. I had some lovely time off. Wales is indeed 50 degrees in the middle.
Yeah, it's much better here. Okay.
When are we starting, my dad? My dad is running things with the water cooler
Yeah.
on
So
today.
we're gonna start 5 past to give everyone a bit of time to join. Um, so yeah, we can discuss the 50-degree weather for 2 more minutes. And yes, everyone, if you have I don't know if there are any new people here. I see a bunch of faces that are not familiar to me, but they might be part of the community and I don't know. So if you're not familiar with Watercooler, this is the place that we get together to talk about all things life peer. Everyone gets the chance to drop a name and topic, and then you can discuss about the topic that you like for 5 minutes. And then there will be questions, which can go more than 5 minutes if the topic is less interesting to anyone. So yeah, if you have any name and topic, please drop them in the chat, and then we're gonna start talking about them. Okay. Okay, we're at time. Thank you everyone for joining. Today I'm going to be your host, and also moving forward, I'm going to be your host for life here. Let me just share my screen and take you through the initial part, as we do usually. Um, okay. Yeah, I'm using Cloud to actually generate this, so you can see it firsthand here. Yeah, so for the announcements, as I mentioned, from now on, I'm going to be the host while we still have Rick, Rich, and everyone from Foundation here to help with questions and be part of the water coolers. Apart from that, the Protocol SP passed. Super excited to see things move forward with SideStream and the team that is working on Protocol. It's critical infrastructure and happy to see this moving forward. Also, in other news, we had the treasury cap hit. So I believe the emission stops now, and we need to restart that again to make sure that the treasury keeps filling up so we can have more SPEs and more funding for the community. And lastly, we're in the final week of the month. So all of the SPEs, everyone that is being funded by the Treasury, please put together your monthly updates and make sure you post them to the forum. On the opportunities side, if you're looking to discuss something, add something to the roadmap, or you think there are features that should be added to the live peer, please add them to the opportunity pipeline on roadmap.livepeer.org. And to discuss them further, you can always reach out to me or to Rich so we can uh, create an opportunity session for you and discuss them within the community. And as mentioned, on the update side, please make sure to post them by the end of the month. This picture is not updated. We already received a few updates from Viv from Explorer team, and so on. So looking forward to get all of the updates, and we'll update both the canonical document on the roadmap and also here by next week. So that's basically update from my side and from the foundation side. I think we can dive right into the names and topic. Rich, do you want to share anything before we dive into the name and topics?
Nope. Let's get going. Go for it, mate.
Okay, amazing. Elliot, first on the draw, do you want to start with an update on the Explorer Delegator UX coming up? How are you, mate?
Am I coming through?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. How are you?
Good. I'm not going to give a big update here just because of where it's at. We're midway through um, the I guess midway through the entire RFP right now, um, and we've completed the teardown. But next week, we're I guess we're currently in the middle of creating the first presentation to the community of everything that we recommend in the design brief, with different like Figma wireframes, and design mockups. Since that's in the works now, presenting, I guess, the findings will probably be best if we wait until next week. But right now, just want to say that teardown is totally done. We've gone through all the exchanges. We've made a bunch of annotated flow charts with screenshots, and we have the whole gap specification done. So everything in the kind of uh, everything in the teardown that has to do with research is basically done. Now we're just at the point of applying that to recommended solutions. So should get those recommended solutions next week. First draft of those to get feedback on.
Okay, that's amazing. Looking forward to see the feedbacks. And also, an update has been already published to the forum. I posted the link to the chat, so anyone that is interested, you can follow along from the forum. Any questions from anyone? I assume not, based on the silence. Uh, okay, thank you, Elliot. Oh, I see dog is typing. Oh, that's just another name and topic. So, moving on to the next item, we have Shane with agentic workflows. Uh, Shane, do you want to jump on the stage?
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Okay, fantastic. I am doing well. I got a bit of a demo here. Excited to show you. Um, let's see. Let me share my screen. Uh, oh wait. Okay, where is it? Hmm. Okay, we'll try this one. You should see a desktop.
It's
Ah,
trying.
no, that's the wrong one.
No.
Okay. Okay, let me do one more. Okay, that's. Oh wait, there we go. That'll do. Okay, fantastic. Everyone see a desktop, I assume?
Yes, I see a terminal.
Yeah, the terminal. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Let me go to it now. So, so I've been working on creating a framework and skill that essentially uh, allows your agent to create media-based workflows like capturing capturing video, capturing stream, transcoding audio, transcribing, I should say, audio, or doing like screen analysis, like pulling from a screen and having an AI go through and analyze the frames. But right now, we basically there's not a clean way for live peer to just be used in those kind of workflows. I'm getting some feedback. I don't know if I'm just getting a periodic. I think it might need to be muted. So what I've done now is I've kind of completed a proof of concept of a skill and a repo in a couple containers that allow you to just interface with an agent to capture anything on your computer or a like browser tab. So I'm actually going to use a browser tab example here. So in my browser tab, what I have here is let's see, is this? Let me make sure. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you can see right now what I'm doing is I've got an extension here, which I'll explain in just a second. But here's an example. I've got this stream and I want to start capturing it for a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my agent. Let me just make sure the permissions are. I'll just give it full permissions for this guy. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to paste in a prompt here. It's very basic. I want to auto transcribe and do a visual analysis for 3 minutes of a stream. Use the skill in this directory to complete this. After everything is captured, look at the transcript and analyze the video and give me a summary. So very straightforward. I'm not giving it a lot of details or anything. But what I'm doing is I am launching this from a clone of this directory. So it has access to, as you can see here, live peer workflow kit. So I'm going to start that. And what the skill does is it has a kind of like a wizard built into it. So right now it's going to ask me, how do I want to capture the stream? Do I want to do it through a video capture extension or through OBS? Now I'm going to go ahead and do the video capture extension, which I don't think you guys can see my mouse, I don't think. But there is a video capture. Can you see the text from my hover over? Are you able to see that?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. It's like
Okay, well, see, yeah, there's a, okay, it's showing. Yeah, I think it's showing. So this extension right here, what you do is you go to tab and you set a, actually, let me just go ahead and do it through the wizard. So I'm going to say 1 because I'm doing it through the browser extension. And so what it's doing now is because it knows it's doing the browser extension, it's already deploying a Docker container that's meant for ingest, that's compatible with this extension. So then it says, hey, install this extension then, and then what you do is you go to tab, you go to settings, you set a custom server, and it's giving you an IP address to add to it. So I already did this because I just went ahead and started this earlier. But there's the custom server and there's the localhost with the port, and so that's already streaming. And so I do all this, and then I'm just going to reply done. Okay, now this is where we're starting to get into some cool stuff, and this is where Mike's stack. I've been using LivePeer modules, which is Mike's stack that he's been building. It was funded by the DAO. I've been using that as an entry point to getting into and using LivePeer. It was a really easy process. It's been really easy to add capabilities to it. But here, you could either self-host entirely if you want, or you can go through LivePeer. And the benefit of going through LivePeer is you don't have to have a fancy GPU. You don't have to do any of that. All of the hard lifting is being outsourced to LivePeer. So I'm going to go ahead and outsource everything to LivePeer. Okay, now it's asking me or telling me to go sign up and give it an API key. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in my API key here. And I believe that's all the information it needs. Because what it does is it decides what information do I need to complete this task, and then it goes through this wizard with you. Okay, yeah, now it's doing its thing. And I'll explain real quickly what it's doing. It's actually creating its own flow right now. The repo itself, it's using RoboFlow as kind of an authoring substrate. And so RoboFlow is actually meant for AI to do visuals, be able to create visual flows so that AIs can see things, participate with different media, and really do anything. It's more than just media, but that's kind of where it's specialized. And so by integrating this into RoboFlow, what it's doing right now is it's simply creating the flow that looks at these different capabilities like transcription and video analysis, and it's adding those blocks and creating a flow with these containers, with the ingest container that I custom made to be able to work with this platform. And then it's either sending out live peer or it's going to run it on its own. But since I selected sending out live peer, it's not going to deploy any of the models that are all needed to do the analysis and to do the transcription itself. It's going to use that entirely through live peer, going through Mike's gateway stack right now. And so this typically takes about 3 minutes to fully complete. And what I intentionally did in this demo is I did not include any pre-built examples of hey, this is how you capture a webinar or something. I intentionally kept it super clean, so all it's given are all the blocks. And this is just to show how an agent is able then to fully construct by simply looking at the blocks, looking at the things, the tools that it has available inside of that skill, and it's just able to just take it and run. I don't. You can make it go a lot faster once it's either already built the skill because it saves it, or a flow it's already saved, or you could just pre-populate with a bunch of examples, and that would even help the agent even faster because then they could just take an example and just modify it. But for the sake of this, I did not want to. Let me. Did it please start? Oh, it looks like okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here, I actually missed a step here, which it told me about. So let me do that. So with using this extension, it's what it's doing is it needs a self cert. Okay, so now I've got a self cert here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over here now. Oh, sorry about that. Got ahead of myself. Okay, let me listen in on this. Okay, I can see the screen now. I'm going to. I can see the screen now. Okay, I can see the screen now. Okay, I'm going to the screen now. There we go. Okay, let me tell it to continue now. No, I'll figure it out. Type it with one hand.
So it's going to take like 3 minutes now to generate, or
Well, it actually already generated the flow. The problem was my stream. See, it says now a bridge stream is registered. So I accidentally missed a step there. So now it's going to capture 180 seconds. So now it's going to capture 3 minutes of whatever we talk about. We don't need to keep this on the whole time or anything, but this is happening in the background now. And so what I did there when I clicked that link and I did the accept the I accepted a self cert and then I opened the and then I could turn on the stream and have it be accepted by the bridge. So, anywho, that's there's one hiccup there, but right now it's just saying I'm waiting for the capture window to finish right now. So, anywho, it's all happening in the background. I've tested this 1,000 times, and it will capture everything and then output a summary for it. The transcript and the audio analysis. That all gets saved as an artifact inside of this folder. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to give the full example of this, and I could post in later, what the outcome is if people are interested. But yeah, that's basically in its process, just trying to show how easy it is to use it.
so I think cautious of the time, maybe we can if there are any questions, we can go through the questions now while it's generating.
Hey Shane, cool demo. I was curious sort of about the motivation for the demo you just showed. Is it more just to show a workflow and show how you would build like an end-to-end workflow using these frameworks, or do you actually see some like product potential in the stream summarization use case that you actually think is an interesting thing to try and take to market and drive demand for the network?
Yeah, no, I actually definitely the latter, and the reason for this is like right now, if I have got a bunch of home videos or videos that I just want to audio transcribe. If I just tell an agent, "Hey, I want these transcribed," there's not a real clean way to do that. Especially if I, don't want to. If I want to go through somewhere like Google or something like that, then yeah, it'll walk me through signing everything up and giving all my data to them. But like this came out of myself having a bunch of media and looking for ways that I could transcribe, but all of it just requires, basically the agent having to kind of build a mini application, which I had to build an application like all of this to make all this work in a way where I can just one-shot prompt, hey, do this, do that, do this with this media, and it just doesn't, right? So there has to be a way to make those kind of like workflows to where you can add like, hey, convert this, transcribe this, analyze this video. All of that has to be in a flow, right? For most agentic use cases, like if you've got an OpenClaw instance or a Hermes agent, right? And you want to be able to have those kind of capabilities directly in it. Yes, you could go with some other kind of service where you don't own anything, and you're going through Google, and you'd still have to build a harness to, like a gateway to, get all your files, do and send it out to whoever, or take a stream. If you're going to take a stream, you still have to do all the work that I did here. But where I see this going is you could absolutely have really kind of the go-to skill for if you've got a lot of different media needs, kind of have a framework that allows agents to kind of one-shot their own flows to do things. Right now, like I said, RoboFlow is very heavily used in the kind of in the LLM vision space. What's interesting about it is there's actually not a skill for RoboFlow, because you either have to do a lot of work to like self-host all these models, set everything up. It's just not, you can't just give it a skill and, it just uses RoboFlow. What I'm actually doing here is I am able to do that because LivePeer is abstracting away all the complication of running all these models, doing all these things. And so I'm actually the first one creating a skill around RoboFlow, where it's just able to take blocks, put them together, and just run with it without needing to do all this other infrastructure work. So I definitely see this as the latter. I believe this could be definitely built out to where, hey, anyone that's using RoboFlow could, add a RoboFlow workflow to a Raspberry Pi that's got a camera on it, but that Raspberry Pi doesn't have to run all the models itself. You can go directly to LivePeer. Now, RoboFlow itself does offer a service to where you can do everything through them through their cloud, but there isn't like another service out there for just taking a RoboFlow instance running locally and having it export all of the heavy lifting to something else. And that's where LivePeer literally fits in perfect. It's the perfect combination of that. So by kind of including in my mind all of LivePeer's infrastructure plus this ability to use RoboFlow just actually as like on-demand flows, you can actually build a really cool little ecosystem here where anyone could just take an agent, doesn't matter what's kind of computer, how big or small, drop in a skill, and they suddenly have all of these vision and model capabilities, and being able to create really cool flows with all of them without having to run any of the hardware themselves, and it's all going up to LivePeer.
Cool. Thank you for the explanation. Yeah, definitely makes a lot of sense, consistent with I think the way a lot of people here in the ecosystem are thinking about sort of agentic first access to all the capabilities that are offered through the live peer network. A lot of the work gets put into the sort of skill frameworks so that agents can automatically create these flows with the right knowledge to produce good outputs.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about yours is all the capabilities are there. There just hasn't been a like an authoring or like fabric layer that just allows agents to just author like really complex stuff. And then with something like this, this is just a proof of concept right now. Like, I mean, I built this on a very small grant, which I'm going to be applying for actually later today. Folks wouldn't mind going to the forum and checking out my posts there that I'll be posting right after this meeting. I'll be applying for a grant as this kind of like really small. I put this together in essentially 3 weeks, and now I would love to be able to expand this and kind of take this to a much more fleshed out kind of formal framework that has even easier levels of authoring. So it could be the de facto skill for agents.
Is there some sort of authoring of the web flows themselves? Like, is there some visualization you can see for the flow that you created, or is that just the, text-based and JSON configs?
Yeah, it's JSON configs. So that's what let's see, actually I think I am. Let's see. I'm not sure which to I'm not sure which at the end it'll let me know, oh, maybe it's production workflows or example workflows. Anyways, I'm not sure where to put the JSON, but RoboFlow itself is JSON. So, and then it's its own engine behind the scenes. So that's what makes it really powerful and really used heavily within the kind of visual space for LLMs, because you can kind of take all of these different capabilities and bundle them through JSON. But then you also have to run all the hardware to do all of those capabilities yourself, or you use their cloud. And this is where it presents you could still run everything yourself and not have to run the infrastructure, which would go through LivePeer. But I'm not sure where the JSON is. It'll let me know whenever it's done.
I think it's interesting to compare it to the approach that I know Chung here is on the call has shared the storyboard demo app and proof of concept, which shares some similar ideas. It's creating agentic first media planning and execution layer to do these complex tasks. And there, instead of creating like JSON files to feed to RoboFlow, it's more like sort of generated skill files to mark down to paste into your agent to teach it the right steps to use the planning and execution layer. So I think those are just like different product surfaces to test out and consider, but trying to accomplish a similar thing under the hood using Live Peer Network to provide all the capabilities. So definitely value in like comparing and contrasting approaches here and seeing what will work best.
Yeah. And kind of the reason I went with RoboFlow is you can get a lot of free capabilities with it. So I don't have all the blocks fully integrated yet, but they have dozens of blocks that once you integrate them, the agent can then do like creating clips, like create snippets of of what it just captured, and all sorts of other kind of like media focused capabilities, which is again why it's heavily used inside of the LLM visual space. And so since LivePeer is both a visual and model network, it really seems like it's a perfect kind of marriage. So there's a lot of free capabilities that you could just then that just layers on top when you fully integrate Flow. That then an agent could literally just do all this stuff, all the hard stuff that's going out to LivePeer, and it's able to do these kind of flows, which is so that's why I decided to specifically go with LivePeer or go with RoboFlow over anything else. Okay, so let's see. It's supposed to be in runs. Okay, there we go. So here's your there's all the artifacts, and here's the workflow itself. Okay. So there you go. That's what the agent authored on the spot. Now again, they could just next time if I say, hey, do the same thing, but this time do it for 10 minutes, they would just modify this flow. They wouldn't have to rebuild everything. I specifically had them build everything from scratch simply for the purposes of showing how the agent is able to fully build when just given the right building blocks to go from zero to a full, transcription and video analyzer with just one prompt shot.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Shane. Looking forward to see that grant. And anyone, if you'd like to participate in discussion, please look out for it on the forum. So yeah, next up we have Doug with another exciting update on Daydream Music. Hey, Doug.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Merdad. Yeah, I'm Doug, one of the co-founders of LivePeer and CEO over at LivePeer Inc., where we've been trying to drive demand to the LivePeer network under the Daydream brand, focused on bringing real-time AI workflows to the world. And a lot of our focus lately has been on audio and music generation, along with sort of real-time video generation and analysis through Scope as well. But I just wanted to share sort of an intermediate update on what's been happening in Daydream world in the last week or two, just so everyone has a little visibility. So let's see, screen sharing. Cool. So those of you who have been on all the calls probably have seen some of these demos lately. But basically, as I mentioned, we've been focusing on this awesome technical innovation that the team did that has sort of music generating for the first time in real time, like sub 100 millisecond latency, based on giving prompts, applying certain music styles in the form of LoRa's, and tuning and shuffling, many different parameters that can affect music generation. And this is undeniably a cool technical breakthrough, first of its kind. And that's sort of manifested through the GitHub daemon repository here, which documents the whole project and technical engine built on top of ASTEP that can do this, up to about 263 stars on this project. But then in terms of actually bringing it to market, getting people to use it, and driving demand to the network, we've been sort of productizing under the Daydream brand here. And so, if you go to daydream.live, you see sort of the latest attempts at messaging. And then you sort of see the different products that are offered. So the sort of the sort of leading product iteration is this VST plugin for DAWs, which are basically the applications, the music workstations that people use to create music digitally on their computer and using MIDI controllers and plugging in instruments and these sorts of things. One of the most popular DAWs is called Ableton. And what we've done is we've sort of productized this real-time generation into this VST, which is a plugin that anyone can load into their DAW. And when they do that, they sort of get the music that they're creating available to the AI, and then they get all of these knobs and dials and prompt boxes to basically use AI as like an instrument in the music creation process. And we are seeing lots of users begin to download and experiment with this, largely to create samples, to create loops, but also to perform live. Right. I think we've had about a couple thousand sort of weekly active users trying this just in the week or two since it launched. And we're seeing the first handful of those users convert to sort of paid tiers where they're paying, at minimum $20 a month to get a certain number of credits to use the remote GPUs that are sort of running the models and processing their sessions, and obviously intend to grow that and then pass through that traffic onto the live peer network, right? For those who are looking to, try it out without maybe using a DAW or hooking up a MIDI controller, more complicated, we have this fun web demo called Daydream Radio. There's 54 people listening right now. It's sort of a community experience. So you drop into this chat room, and then everyone can control the different controls, prompts, blends, and modify the songs in real time. And it's sort of a fun demo, but we'll see how this gets used. Mostly it's a lead gen into the VST itself for the moment, but people are enjoying it socially. Opportunity to launch these turntable FM style products as well. Lastly, something that launched today was filling a little bit of a gap around knowledge around how to use these tools and what they enable. So now there's this sort of knowledge-based FAQ library that teaches people how to use the controls and troubleshoot the experience that they're having. There's a bunch of knobs and buttons, so it's all explained what they do. And as soon as people learn to use this, they have been giving overwhelmingly positive feedback that it's really fun. It's like another key sort of instrument in their tool belt. And we're seeing them convert to paying users who are retained over the weeks. So that's what I wanted to highlight. I know there's some more team members on the call. If anyone wants to share anything in the chat or jump in, feel free. But I just wanted to give a brief update on the progress there within the Daydream team.
Thank you, Doug. That's amazing. Super excited about the Daydream music. I think it's awesome. Anyone, any questions?
Last thing before I drop, I'll say I'm very excited about the demand that this can drive to the live peer network. Right, we're already seeing increasing usage, and like I said, people beginning to pay for direct access for remote GPUs to run these sessions. So good fit there. I do see a little bit of a longer path before this is driving like many application builders building various types of applications direct on the network and different types of businesses. And so in thinking about this, definitely spending some time thinking about how to expose, not just these capabilities, but more of the real-time media-centric AI capabilities on the network in a more agentic first, easier way, like what Shane was talking about, like what we're showing off with, the storyboard demo as well. And so I think, excited in the coming weeks to explore both of those tracks, driving demand through this, but sort of opening up the network for building with a little more focus going forward.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop for another meeting, but feel free to leave questions and tag me in the chat, and I get back to them in a little bit.
Thank you. It was great having you today. Okay, so next up we have Defined, which I missed earlier. Sorry, mate. How are you?
Hi, Mehrdad. I'm very good. How are you?
Great, thank you. Feel free to take it away.
Okay, amazing. So the update is that we did the version release of Weave yesterday, and this has the final version and it is the culmination of many different attempts to define how the Weave UX will be utilized from the user and how the whole Weave framework will be working. So I will do a small demo for the current version. For those who are here, the previous week we showed a 2i version of the web application. I want. Can you see my screen?
It's loading on my side. I'm not sure about others.
Let's hope that it is the right screen.
It's not loading anymore.
I see error 3004. Let's try again. Let's do one more attempt, and if it doesn't succeed, I don't see it succeed. Okay, so I will present it to the best of my ability from the URL. If you go on the URL, you will see the tagged version. This is a version that it is completely agent agnostic, so you can throw it into agentic interface and it will work. You just go and throw the first prompt as it is specified in the first contract on the .md, and from that prompt, once you send it to the agent, it will convert the agent to a chief of staff with agent, which will have all the context and the information on how to create the with folder structure and how to start different applications from intent till monetization, which is the whole reason that this framework exists, to bring apps from intent to monetization. This repository has everything inside that the builder needs to build its application and to be able to understand at which stage they are at any moment for multiple applications. So you can have 3 or 5 or 10 applications, and they can be on different stages. For example, you can be on the intent stage on 2 different applications, or you can be on the engineering stage on other ones, and you can be on the iteration stage on other applications. So you will be able to track where you are on each of these applications. But the more interesting thing is that it gives you the ability to evaluate how you did in each of these application stages. So when you finish the research, the Weave gives you the both the skills and the specific methodologies to run reviews into the artifacts, and the agent will not proceed to the next stage till it has the needed artifacts, until it is sure that the artifacts were reviewed with the defined way as provided from Weave. This you can update it yourself, so you can change the skills. In the case of LivePeer,
Maybe
it
part of
has
the
a,
time, if you can just wrap up in a like minute or two, that would be amazing. Sorry.
yeah. This I'm wrapping up. Just and so for LivePeer, you also have a skill that details how you can use LivePeer, which will continue to update and make it even better. And so we're using this for our applications, and we're going tomorrow to launch the first application, which in essence will be um, a page where we can gauge the intent of users to use the Punch Compute application. So this is relevant to Bond's feedback, which suggested that he first wants to see that people want this application, so we are running a promotion. And depending on the outreach results of this promotion, we'll decide if we're gonna build it or not. Cool.
Yeah, thank you very much. Super exciting. Any questions from anyone? Okay, Joseph is typing. Was typing. Also have a question. So, what is the next step for Weave exactly? Just to confirm. So you're testing out the current setup, and what's next?
So there are three different things. The first one is to actually build a lot of applications with it, because it's the only way to understand the holes and uh, the bugs that we haven't even. It is not possible to see if you're not building using this. So I'm building a lot of applications with Weave to make it better. The second is to make it make it so that the live peer builders have an intrinsic incentive of using Weave. And this is for the next batch of the deliverables, how to make the incentives go beyond the monetary incentive layer. So how to make it so that they will want to use it, and for that reason, like, we're thinking of making it so that when you're getting Weave, you're not only exposed on what Weave has to offer to you in terms of skills and guidance and review capabilities, but also you are exposed on um, information repositories that are private, and they are offered from Weave users. So, for example, if I'm building 10 applications with Weave, and I want to select to give that to other library builders, the only ones who will have access to that, they will be people who have downloaded Weave, who have used it for some time, and they're also building library applications.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Um, okay, next up we have Joseph, and I think that's the last in the queue. Sorry, mate. How are you?
Hey, no worries about that. It's absolutely fine. I'll be very quick. I just wanted to share a profile that I wrote of someone many of you will know very well, Mike. I really enjoyed writing it, and I would love for any of you to think. And yeah, I'm just going to share it here. It's in the chat there. Hope you guys enjoy it. That's all from me. Thanks.
Thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, we all know Mike, and Mike, we really appreciate you. It was great to see this coming out, and also looking forward to see more posts like this. So I think that was everything in our queue. Um, is there any questions regarding the post? Assume not. I see a lot of people typing.
Also, while people are typing, I would just say that it was really interesting following Mike's career, which is very storied of its own right. But it was really interesting to speak to someone whose career kind of matched the arc of the internet and the world shifting to online, from everything from politics to e-commerce, then through to everything to do with crypto and Web3 and now AI. I thought it was really interesting to see someone who's kind of like had a career of being at the frontier. And so if there's anyone else who would be interested in that, I really recommend you read it. And also just to talk to Mike in general, because he's a really interesting guy. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. You can probably hear it in my voice, but yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Joseph.
I think what Joe is trying to say is Mike's an old dude. Been around, seen a lot. I had a blast kicking it with Joe too. It's fun doing these kinds of interviews. I really appreciate him taking the time to write this up. But definitely, I've seen the pre-internet age, the social media age, and then the pre-crypto age, and now the pre-AI age. So I've seen quite a few transformations in the world, and I think this is the most recent version with AI is going to be a very impactful one that we have just begun to see the impact. So I think it's an interesting article. Please take a read and give some feedback, but it was fun. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Joe. Super excited about this. So I think we're getting to the last bit of the water cooler, which is giving props to someone else. I want to start by giving the props to Joe and also to Mike. Joe for writing the blog and Mike for living it, I think, and having all of this cool experience to share, and also being a very committed member of the community. So super great to have you guys here. Anyone else? Any other props?
Shout out to my man Shane for continue to build and demo, showing some of the capabilities of the live pair modules work we've been doing and being able to get that off the ground. I still think it's one of those areas where a couple more examples will probably go a long way to really showing people the power of the of the dynamic workflow stuff that he's building. I think the one he gave was good, but I just think, a couple more examples will help people get their heads wrapped around it. But he's doing awesome work. I'm, constantly in the chats and DMs talking to him as he's building away. So keep it up, homie. Good stuff.
And for doing a live demo. That's we haven't had a live demo in a while. It's awesome to see it. It's a massive.
Yeah, definitely love the live demos. I would love to get a couple more on the runway coming up soon too.
Also, any other props and chills? Hey, I think we're at the end of water cooler. Thank you everyone for joining, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. See you next week.